Hello and welcome. In this math tutorial, our task is to find the real values of x that satisfy this algebraic equation. Now, to solve this problem, we do not need to expand at all. Notice that the left-hand side of this equation is positive. Of course, you know that when we square a quantity, whether that quantity is positive or negative, the product must be positive. And even without considering this outer square, you know that for all real values of x squared plus 100 must be a positive quantity. Now, on the other hand, if you cube a negative quantity, you will get a negative product. But if you cube a positive quantity, you get a positive product. So that means that since the left-hand side of this equation is positive, then this, that is x cubed minus 100, must be a positive quantity. So from here we have that x cubed must be greater than 100. And taking cube root of both sides of this inequality, we have that x must be greater than the cube root of 100. So we have that x must be a positive number. And now that we have established that both x squared plus 100 and x cubed minus 100 are positive numbers, the next thing we are going to do is to take the sixth truth of both sides of this equation. This is equal to the sixth truth of x cubed minus 100 cubed. How did I get 6? 2 times 3. And of course, writing this in index form, we have that x squared plus 100 to the power 2 over 6 is equal to x cubed minus 100 to the power 3 over 6. We can reduce these two fractions to their lowest form. 2 into itself is 1 and into 6 is 3. 3 into itself is 1 and into 6 is 2. So on the left hand side of this equation, we have the cube root of x squared plus 100. And this is equal to the square root of x cubed minus 100. Now let us do a substitution. Let us call this quantity y. That means that y is equal to the square root of x cubed minus 100. Now you know that when you square both sides of this equation, you get rid of this square root. And we have that y squared is equal to x cubed minus 100. Rearranging this equation and taking this quantity over to the left hand side, we have that x cubed is equal to y squared plus 100. Also, you know that y, that is this, is also equal to this. So from the original equation, we have that y is equal to the cube root of x squared plus 100. And of course, to get rid of this cube root, we cube both sides of this equation. This is going to take care of that. From here, we have that y cubed is equal to x squared plus 100. Now you can see that we have a system of two symmetric equations. Of course, you know that both x and y are positive. Now, let us assume that x is greater than y. Then that means that x cubed must also be greater than y cubed. And that simply means that y squared plus 100 must be greater than x squared plus 100. Now, when you subtract 100 from both sides of this inequality, we have that y squared must be greater than x squared. And when you take square root of both sides of this inequality, we have that y must be greater than x. But We started with the assumption that x is greater than y, and this led us to the conclusion that y is greater than x, which is a contradiction. Now let us assume that x is less than y. That means that x cubed is going to be less than y cubed, and that means that y squared plus 100 is going to be less than x squared plus 100. Once more, if we subtract 100 from both sides of this inequality, we have that y squared must be less than x squared. And if we take square root of both sides of this inequality, we come to the conclusion that y must be less than x. Now, we started with the assumption that x is less than y, but that has led us to the conclusion that y is less than x, which is also a contradiction. So, whichever way we go, we land in a contradiction. So that simply means that the only way that this system of equations is going to have a solution is if x is equal to y. And from our conclusion, we have that we can now write this equation as x cubed is equal to x squared plus 100, because of course x is equal to y. Now, to solve this cubic equation, we'll start by moving these two terms over to the left-hand side. When we do that, we have that x cubed minus x squared minus 100 is equal to 0. Now, let us break up this constant term. We know that 100 is 125 minus 25. Opening this bracket, we have x cubed minus x squared minus 125 minus is plus 25 is equal to 0. Now we can write this equation as x cubed minus x squared minus 5 to the third power, because 5 cubed is equal to 125 plus 5 squared is equal to 0. And rearranging this equation, we have x cubed minus 5 cubed minus x squared minus 5 squared is equal to 0. Of course, you know that when we open this bracket, we have minus x squared, and then we have minus 5 squared, which is plus 5 squared. Now notice that this is the difference of two cubes, and this is the difference of two squares. We can factorize this as x minus 5 into x squared plus 5 times x plus 5 squared, which is 25. Then we have minus. Of course, you know that we can factorize the difference of two squares as x minus 5 multiplied by x plus 5. And of course, everything is still equal to 0. Now, when you look at these two terms, you're going to see a common factor, which is x minus 5. So we have x minus 5 into. Now, when you divide this by x minus 5, of course, you are left with x squared plus 5x plus 25 minus. When you divide this by x minus 5, you are left with x plus 5. Of course, this is going to come inside a bracket, and this is equal to 0. And from here, we have x minus 5 multiplied by x squared plus 5x plus 25 minus x minus 5 is equal to 0. Simplifying this, we have x minus 5 multiplied by x squared. 5x minus x is going to give us plus 4x. And 25 minus 5 is going to give us 20, and this is equal to 0. And of course, from here, we have that either x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x squared plus 4x plus 20 is equal to 0. Of course, when we add 5 to both sides of this equation, we have that x is equal to 5. Now, before we solve this quadratic equation, let us check if this quadratic equation is going to yield real values of x. To do that, of course, we use the discriminant. This is equal to b squared minus 4ac. Of course, b is the coefficient of x, which is 4. 4 squared is 16. We have 4 times a is the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. And c is the constant term, which is 20. So this is equal to 16 minus 4 times 20 is 80. And of course, you know that 16 minus 80 is a negative number. And you know that when the discriminant of a quadratic equation is negative, it simply means that that quadratic equation has no real roots. So the only real value of x that satisfies this equation is x equal to 5. Now let us check our answer. When x is equal to 5, substituting into the original equation, we have 5 squared, which is 25 plus 100. Now, is this equal to 5 cubed, which is 125 minus 100 to the power 3? 25 plus 100 is 125. So this is 125 squared. Is this equal to 125 minus 100 is 25. So this is 25 cubed. Of course, you know that 125 is 5 cubed. Then we have squared. Is this equal to 25 is 5 squared? So this is 5 squared and we have cubed. Opening these brackets, we have 5 to the power 3 times 2, which is 6. And of course, this is equal to 5 to the power 6. So when x is equal to 5, the left-hand side of the equation is equal to the right-hand side of the equation. And with that, we come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you learned something new. If you enjoy such content, please subscribe to the channel. Please leave us a like to support the channel. It helps out greatly. Leave a comment also and watch more videos here. Thanks for watching.